Yo, Hugo, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? Good to see you. How are you doing? Gonna wait a few minutes here until some people join. Then I'm going to talk about what we had yesterday. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm doing well. I'm currently in Cyprus. How about you? Yo, good day, Jason. What's up? What's up? What's up? Great to hear, Hugo. Yeah, I mean, everything is good. Can't complain. I'm doing these live sessions on a regular now. Yeah, I'm traveling a lot, but now I'm based in Cyprus. I moved out of Germany. I'm in Cyprus now for 2 months already. Yo, guys. The buys for today, neutral, to be honest. We have NFP on Friday. And yeah, so I will talk about what we had yesterday about the buy sides and when to expect price to trade into those buy sides once you have a low probability condition in the PM session, because you can use this information like crazy, and I'm going to show you what I mean about that today. Yo, George, what's up? What's up? So yeah, we have 10 a.m. news today. I'm going to wait for that. We did trade into the buy sides here on the pre-market session just now. So we will dig into the lower time frames at 10 a.m. I just want to show you how to use this information from the PM session where we did trade or tape read the MOC macro and last hour macro, because this information is very, very important for then future sessions. I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you. So if you watched yesterday's live stream, we did study the last hour macro and the MOC macro. And I can tell you that we did not have any trades in there. Wait a second. I'm going to make this a little bit not quite the music. All right, so if you watched yesterday's stream, you know that we were aiming for these buy side liquidity pools, especially the buy side up here from the Asia session from Monday. All right, so I noted this buy side liquidity as a best case scenario, and once we did not have all the criteria we wanted to see inside the last hour macro and the MOC macro, we did not have any trades towards the buy side, and that's totally fine. As a scalper, you simply wait for it to be high probability, and I talked about that yesterday a lot. And then you can use that information for future sessions. And I told you that this buy side will be interesting within either the Asia session or London Open, right? I did talk about that. And you can see how the buy side here, all these buy sides here on the lower time frame, we will dig into that in a minute. Some of them already waited inside the Asia session here at 7:15, going into the Asia session 8 p.m. But then you see how the Asia session trades lower into an inefficiency here, this busy, and a breaker. So then this is simple ICT logic. It's not going too deep into macros or not going too deep into structure and everything. But you can see how the midnight opening price here, we trade lower into sell-side liquidity just inside this busy, right? And you knew that this buy side up here and this buy side would be something interesting inside the London Open or Asia session. But the fact that Asia session did trade lower into a discount, you can use this all the way up here as a target for your London Open. And you see how this on the 5 minute now, this has sell-side liquidity, it trades into that, trades higher, there's a low risk buy if you look at it as a market maker buy model. Then you have this busy here, and this is a specific busy. This is a breakaway gap. It's gonna break away from this consolidation. So this is a breakaway gap. Then on a 15-minute, we have this as a normal busy, a value gap. You see how the candles here are respecting the midpoint. A consolidation in here, and then from the 350 to 410 macro, you see how it then continues higher into all the targets up here. And if you're not seeing high probability conditions within a session, you can be sure about that the next session will be a little bit more high probability. And by looking at it and by being confident about it and by knowing that the setup is not running away, you simply can wait. So the last hour macro and the MOC macro did just have very, very slow PA, and that's totally fine. It did trade into the sell side here, and I marked out the sell side here from the retail trap, and I talked about that yesterday as well. You see how it trades there. We have a busy here on the 5-minute as well. Sell side rating, and all the buy side up here is very smooth and relative equal. You can see how many buy sides there are. Like this here, they're relative equal. This is relative equal. If you compare these two in here, they are relative equal. So a lot of buy side liquidity resting here, and all the way to here, where I talked about this specific level. And you can see how it tapped into that and then completely retraces back into the range. So if you study the London Open here, and let's say you did not take any buys down here, but you did here on the this busy. I did not trade that, unfortunately. I did just sleep. But you can see how many handles it is. 250 handles just by sitting still in the last hour macro and MOC macro, doing nothing and not forcing anything. And I talked about that yesterday a lot. So that might be a boring lecture, but it is very, very important. And then you simply wait for the next session. You take the information from the Asia session. Okay, it trades lower into a discount. We have then midnight opening price, another scanning point. So every single start of the session or start of a macro or start of a whatever you'd use as a time window, you want to scan the market. Scanning for liquidities, scanning for imbalances, scanning for structure in general, and then using the previous sessions as information. And we did that here, for example, in the Asia session, did trade lower. Then new scan on the midnight candle. You have sell side down here. It engineers sell side here, trades once more lower into that, and enters the London Open session. Now you have a lot of information from the PM session, from the Asia session, going into the London Open. And if you do not have any trades in that, that's totally fine. You can have a enormous trade idea or probability here inside the London Open, and then you can get something like 250 handles. And it's very important to use the previous sessions as information. And that is why, for example, for me, the best win rate in my trading, in my strategy, is from Tuesday or Wednesday into Friday. So I have all the information from Monday and Tuesday going into Wednesday to Friday. Or if you trade AM session only, you use the Asia session and London Open and also the pre-market session as information. It gives you a lot of information. If you trade the PM session, you use the previous AM session, pre-market session, even the London Open, and so on. So you're using not only that one specific time window from one time or one candle to another, you're using all around that as well. And then based on that, you can find a lot of high probability conditions. It's similar to if you have an inside day. So the high and the low is within the high and low from the previous day. You usually can expect a more volatility day right after, or 2 days after, even 3 days after, but it will happen. So the market only goes from consolidation to expansion. And like here, it has consolidation, it goes into expansion. And if you see this kind of consolidation, you're not feared, or you're not sitting there and not knowing where it goes next, because you already have the information down here. And the next expansion away from this consolidation, where should it be? Higher, because we have all the buy side up here. All these buy sides up here are resting. So yeah, that's basically how you use low probability conditions going into next sessions. And I do that every single day. And I do not trade London Open that much, but you can see how it completes its logic here. And then you simply need to read candle by candle when it comes to low probability conditions. And we did that yesterday. So if you want to know how to read low probability conditions, watch that. And then I said it, watch out for the buy sides inside the Asia session or London Open. And we did that. And we did have that here. And now you can see, because we did trade into the major buy side liquidity and it's already met, we have lower probability conditions here in the AM session. And so we wait for 10 AM news. It's in 6 minutes. You can see how the highs are taken now, the lows are taken. So back and forth in here so far. But we have a busy here with a breaker here. We have sell side liquidity being taken with a low risk buy here and nice speed here. So the next step would be go to the 1 hour and look for targets to the upside. What do we have? First of all, we do have the new week opening gap high here. So we are currently trading at that. And if you look at the 1 hour structure here, it's pretty poor because we are still trading within this daily mess. This here, there's not much to see, to be honest. The next target to the upside, it would be this up close candle, what is an order block, and the 8s in there, the quadrants in there, you can note them. You have a SIBI here. You can use, I mean, this buy side here, it's taken by one tick. So I would not use this as very, very high probability draw on liquidity. Not yet. If we trade towards that above the new week opening gap, it's different. So we can use that then as a high probability target. To be honest, I'm not thinking about sells now. Let me delete all these buy sets here. We don't need them. So we talked about this a lot. And I think it's very important to know how to navigate through low probability conditions going into the next sessions. But if you look at the lows here, they are not relatively equal. I'm looking at, we have the inversion of a gap here. This might be something to watch on. So we're currently trading within the new week opening gap. We had a smaller consolidation around the midpoint and trading higher. So only based on this, by reading candle by candle, I want to see it trade above the new week opening gap high, ideally above the inversion fair gap, to then have a opportunity of 120 handles into the buy side. That would be highest probability. Other than that, on the downside, to be honest, on the downside, there's not much. The highs here are going to be jagged here as well. Sell side on the ES. I mean, to be honest, it's pretty poor in terms of structure. So we might see what 10 AM does. Let's note the 9:30 here. Take the first presentation. Gonna note the last 5 and the current open range gap. So with the open range gap, I mean, how many handles is this? From 740 to 850. So 110 probably. But you can see how the pre-market session highs and lows, they're already taken. So this currently looks like a seek and destroy kind of profile. We have the inversion for value gap up here. Once we trade above that and above the midpoint, I like the draw up here. On the downside, we only have, I would say, the opening range gap midpoint. Okay, let me see what you guys said. Drawn liquidity buy side. Yeah. Yeah, I'm more on the buy side than on the sell side, but we already took both sides in here, so it's hard to tell. Clustering of new day opening gaps, let me see. Up here, yeah, true. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if it's not going to trade higher above these, it's fine. Like, similar to what we had yesterday. If you have lower probability conditions, you know there will be something higher probability later in the day or in the next session. It always goes like that. And you scan again for the market, how it goes and how liquidity is resting, where the inefficiencies are. All this information will be then within your analysis. And you can see how the buy side here, I talked about that, and just let me note it real quick. So the buy side there is already used. And if buy side or sell side is used, I'm marking it in gray. So I know it's already used. It still is there, so it still can use the sell side here, make another low here, and then trade higher from that. All right, so 10 AM trades higher here. That's nice. For me to be high probability for longs, it would need to trade above the inversion fair value gap here. And then we still have an opportunity of 110 handles. Last week's Asia session. Quite low resistance and high probability. Yeah. I mean, Asia session highs, if you have equal highs or equal lows in the Asia session, they are often low resistance liquidity ones. All right, so we are trading above the first presentation here, already traded into the high. What we don't want to see now is trade below the first presentation again, because then we have seek and destroy. That inversion fair value gap is on the 15. No, it's not. It's on the 1 hour. This one here. If you trade above that, I would like to see a draw up into the buy side here. And we have this CB here that's still open as a potential draw. So I do like the buy side up here with the CB. Let's see how price is going to navigate through this inversion fair value gap midpoint. Right, so if it reaches into the Bessie, it can go as far as the first presentation. And we do have the old buy side here as well. So from here, if we see something on the lower time frame, seconds time frame, that supports the idea to go higher, then that's ideal. Because it could easily trade to this high, completely disrespect this first presentation NPC, and trade again lower into seek and destroy profile. If you have this kind of structure before your trade idea, you simply wait for it to have the criteria you want, because going long on this blindly is not what you want to do. And you can see how it completely disrespects that, only by looking at what it did before. So these are small things you add into your analysis to avoid bad trades. And use old premium arrays to become discount. And as long as you don't have that, there's no reason to go long here. I mean, if you go long on this, you kind of have 150 handles of opportunity, but it's very, very low probability, and you're not waiting for it to go into your favor. If you wait for it to trade above the inversion fair-value gap and respect this busy, you still have a range of 120 handles. So it's only 30 handles less, but you have a very high probability condition then. That's the difference. You can blindly go on this, yeah, but you will kind of lose it more often than it's going to be a winner. And these kind of things are very, very important in current conditions, because we do have war, we do have all the things going around in this world. And the daily chart on the NASDAQ and the ES, they are just ranging for almost 5-6 months now. And if you don't do this before your session, so let's say you want to have something that meets your criteria, and then you have an opportunity of 120 handles and you are fine with that, then you simply wait for it. There's no need to rush on this busy. Now what I'm looking at is, can I disrespect this CP here and use the busy as a reclaimed? There are many other things also to timing on macros and everything, but I won't go too deep into that in YouTube. Let's put the seconds time frame here on the macros. By looking at this, it's still, I mean, because it did trade back into the range all the way into 50% of the stealing range, that's kind of seek and destroy. And you can see how we trade into, or we did trade into the low here first, then into the high, again, once more into the high, then into the low again, then into the high again. Low probability. And why is that? Because we did have a pretty high probability conditions inside the London Open, where I talked about this based from yesterday's PM session. And we kind of could expect this to be high probability because the PM session was low probability and it went into Asia session going into discount. So this becomes very high probability. And now the next session is kind of seek and destroy here. I won't make this today too long. I just wanted to share with you how to expect higher or lower probability conditions in a session before the session even starts. And it was just a lecture based on yesterday's live stream. All right, so we are trading above the PSE again. It has nice order flow here on the 15 seconds so far. We do have down close candle supporting price. Next down close candle would be here on the 15 seconds with a busy. So we can mark that. With a smaller volume balance here, and it already tapped into that. All right, so we have a busy right in that middle of the inversion fair value gap. I kind of like that. Let's see how the next candle is going to close. Let's see if it can give us something on the 1 minute. Otherwise, I'm going to wait for the 15 and 5 seconds. Once we trade above these new day opening gaps, especially this one. Yeah, you have to be patient here. If it completely runs higher here, that's also fine without taking the buy side, because then we can use the new day opening gaps as discount and base a trade model, entry model on the 5 seconds, 15 seconds there. So for example, a pretty simple 2022 model where you have the sell side being rated, mark such a shift with a busy and then trade higher. So there's no rush. I don't like it that it respected the new day opening gap here with the bodies, to be honest. So what I want to do now is look on the 5 seconds. I see a lot of buy side here. Go to the 1 seconds. I do not have a clear busy here. I would love that with a breaker. Okay. Unluckily, I did not get this busy here. I could see how it's pretty nice market maker buy model here on the 1 seconds. 5 seconds. Well, this, if there would be a busy, there was more clean for my eyes, I would have immediately entered here. But see how the thing with scaling down to the seconds time frame is also very nice. Like if you're not sure about the 1 minute here, and you don't want to enter here because of the 1 minute candles showing you that the new day opening gap is respected, you can simply go to the 5 and 1 seconds and find that setup here, or even this one here would be nice. But for that, you have to be very, very quick and ideally have shortcuts or something. See how the buy side here is rated. A nice study. And when I will start the $1,000 challenge, I think it's already M said it should be verified by tonight. And then I'm going to be very locked in, and I'm not going to miss setups like these. Because when I talk about it as well, I might just miss it because it's way too fast. I'm going to just stream then how I try to run their account up and not talk too much or do less lectures. And I will do more lectures inside the VIP group again. But all the live trading will be then on YouTube. I mean, if you enter here, for example, you have 30 handles. If you check this here as a institutional order flow entry drill, you have 25 handles. If you use this one here as well, you have another 20 handles. And it's simply looking at buy side, waiting for the left curve, trading into a higher time frame, the DOA, mark such a shift, and your typical market maker buy model. And this alone would be enough. This alone would be enough. If you took something here, make sure to be done for the AM session. Just don't take any more things. Because this is now how a seek and destroy profile qualifies itself. It trades into another high and completely gives up the ghost and goes back into the range. If we don't have that, we ideally look for a continuation with low resistance liquidity run into the buy setup here. I don't think I can lower the delay. I think YouTube is just quite shit when it comes to that, unfortunately, because I know for the second time frame it would be better to just have no delay. I think 15 seconds to 20 seconds is normal on YouTube, I would say. I mean, that's already on the 1 second. That would have been almost this whole move here. So, I mean, it's kind of shit, but I think there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. So if I, for example, trade the live account, then people are probably not going to copy trade me because it's 20 seconds delayed, and when I trade on the 1 second, it's too late for them to enter. I mean, it's also a good thing, I would say, because you should trade on your own and use the things I probably have as a initial draw for you to have a direction. But finding these kind of trades and everything, you should develop in that as well. All right, so for now it's ranging within that inversion favelica on the 1 hour chart. We still have a opportunity of trading above that and still have that 100 handles to 120 handles as opportunity. I mean, this alone from the 1 second, that would have been enough for you to trade, right? It's a few seconds, you're in and out into a buy side that is very clear, very smooth edges. On the 1 second, market maker buy model and be done for the day. Not worry about all of this, not worry about all of what's coming next. That's the beauty of scaling down to seconds time frames, because you will find something. Yeah, I know. It would have been better to just be like live without delay to talk about these things and give you the hints as they happen. Exactly. So this 1 minute downflows candle, I like this as bullish order flow, so it should support price. Ideally, the upper half of it. I'm gonna note it. What color should it be? Maybe pink. So you have a new day opening gap and this upper half of the bullish order block as a discount array. Gonna watch how it goes. But because we are in kind of seek and destroy profile conditions, it can still wick below the min threshold here and not be as clean as it usually would be, and then trade higher from there. That's a nice push here. It might take a little bit longer than usual to trade up into the buy side. Right, so the new day opening gap here is discount with a 15 seconds BC. What do you think about entering off break of structure with the seek and destroy market conditions? Because might get wigged out on a fair value gap entry. You mean just going long on the swing high here? I mean, it's possible. I don't like to use buy stops as an entry, but it's definitely possible if your narrative is correct. That's nice. Let's see how quickly it can reach into the buy side up here and the 1 hour CB. Once it hits that, I will end the stream, and I think it was enough to talk about how you expect these kind of low probability and high probability conditions. The lecture from yesterday and today is very important within your trading. So another very nice drill here where we talked about price as it unfolds, and especially this down here where it overshoots the BC here, and you simply wait for it to trade above it again. 1 minute BC, this one. Yeah, I mean, it's quite near now for the buy side here. What I like to do when you have something like this, I do not enter on this and have my stop loss down here. That's not good risk to reward in my opinion. I would wait for it to trade into that, similar to what we did on the 1 second here. It trades into the discount array, and then you scale down to the 1 second or 5 seconds. Because then you have something like a market maker buy model. You can have a 2022 entry model, you can have whatever entry model you use. All right, so I'm gonna wait until 10:30 here and then close the stream. It either goes to the buy side before that, or it goes after that, but that's then a study for you. So this 15 seconds busy here is within the 1 minute busy upper half. So if it wants to reach down there, I would love this to be the discount, a way to then have the 1 seconds entry based on, or wait the bicep before that, and then it's fine. And from here to the bicep is say 50 handles. So on the live account, I would probably have taken this here on the 1 seconds into the bicep. That's 30, 40 handles kind of setup. Then yeah, you simply wait for it to be your highest probability setup. Anti-CC, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I mean, oh yeah, of course, Zoran, yeah. I know that name. Are you Zoran? Or are you not? If you are, then nice that you are here. All right, so it's almost in the buy-side liquidity up here. Yeah, no interest in the 1 minute, that's fine. I mean, the only thing for me would be the 1 second here based on the 1 minute. And that's totally okay. I mean, if you like to trade the 1 minute, you can also trade based on this reclaimed busy here with a stop loss just below the midpoint or something. But yeah, that's a really, really great study here. The buy side now is reached and the 1 hour CB as well. So this here. Very nice. I like that. I like that. So yeah, that's it for today. I just wanted to show you today that you can simply find something when you have lower probability conditions, like we had yesterday in the PM session. And if you don't have anything there, you simply scan for another, you scan another time at, for example, the next time window for you to be on the charts. It can be London Opens, Asia session, it can be any macro, it can be whatever you use. Sorry, my friend trolling me. Oh yeah. I see. No, you are Zoran, I see. But nice to hear here, man. Great to have you. Opinions on Asia session for tonight. I don't have any opinions on that right now. I have to scan at the beginning of Asia session, to be honest, because we are still early in the day. And we do have NFP on Friday. So this is my last highest probability kind of time window. I mean, you can still trade other sessions right after this. But usually between AM session on Wednesday to Friday NFP, you want to be more nimble. But if you study what I talked about yesterday, this specific buy setup here with all what we had inside the PM session going into Asia session London Open, if you only study this, trust me, you will have a way better view on the market in general, and understand why price is going to go into kind of lower probability conditions and not be surprised by that and not going to force any trades in that. And then you simply have this for London Open. And then, I mean, here, I did not even look at that, to be honest. But here on the 15 minute, you can see they're busy with the order block. I did not even mark this out. So this run to the upside is very, very nice, to be honest. But yeah, sometimes I miss those things as well. But yeah, I hope you liked it anyways. I might be, the next stream might be with the $1,000 live account, because AMP is going to verify it right now, or tonight. So yeah, we then begin with that, and I will do the same things as I do already, looking for the highest probability setups and try to run it up with that, with the highest win rate I can. Very nice. If you took this on the 1 minute or 15 minute or whatever time frame you use, very, very nice. All right, that's it. Thank you for being here. The 1 hour CB is reached. I'm going to probably dip and do something else. But yeah, everything to script, everything as expected. And you can study these kind of sessions here more deeper into seconds time frame and macros. I do that often inside the VIP group with trade breakdowns and market reviews. But you can do it for yourself if you understand them correctly. So I don't know if I want to stream tomorrow because it's the day before NFP. So I will be live probably on NFP on Friday in the AM session. So 1 hour after NFP. And then we go from there. So yeah, that's it. I wish you a great evening or afternoon. And yeah, God bless, man. So see you then. Bye-bye.